Hello, Gideon.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. I
Yeah,
was talking all this time, but I was on mute. My bad. Sorry.
all right, all right.
All right, I'll just repeat what I said. Thank you, everyone, for giving us your time and being here. So this info session is recorded, so you can go back and watch it on our YouTube channel if you want to revisit on a missed out part. This is for the others that are not here. Otherwise, you can begin now. This is a solution challenge information session program hosted to you by DSC ASPU and Hilco Computer Science Institute. So we have many people here, both from ASPU and guests that were part of the Solution Challenge competition in previous years. And we hope this session will give you a little highlight about the program, what we're aiming for, and how you can best perform in this Solution Challenge competition. So without wasting any more time, I'd like to give the mic to Bamiret, who'll be taking the opening program, and then we'll follow to our next programs. I'll announce respectively. So Bamiret, please take it away.
Okay, thank you, Gideon. I will not be taking much of your time. I just want to welcome everyone. My name is Bamiret. I am the current DSC lead for DSC ASTU. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I hope this next session will be informative and enlightening for you. Thank you again, and Gideon, I'll give it back to you.
Okay, thank you so much for that short, brief introduction. And next we have Dr. Tulu Talan from Addis Ababa Science and Technology University, AI and Robotics Center of Excellence. I'd like to welcome Dr. Talan. He's on live here with us. I'd like to give him 5 more minutes to explain about his role in our institute and also any message he might have for us.
Yeah, a little
Okay,
correction.
thank you so much.
Dr. Tulu, not
Hello.
Dr. Talahan. Okay, you may continue.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me, and it's honor for me to just having here to be with you virtually. And my name is Tulu Lahun. I am assistant professor of software engineering and head for artificial intelligence and robotics center of excellence. Before saying about artificial intelligence and robotics center of excellence, I would like to thank and organizer of this session and winners of previous year's solution challenges. You deserve huge thanks because you are here to share your experiences to inspire our students so that they can learn much from you and they will just arrange themselves and come for and prepare for the next solution challenges. Saying this, just to say something about artificial intelligence, as you may all of you know, Addis Ababa Science and Technology University has a vision to be a hub of science and technology for us national and international wise. To achieve this vision, Addis Ababa Science Technology University has consists of around 8 centers of excellences, in which artificial intelligence and robotics is one of them. As from the name, you may learn that this center of excellence intended to support students who can engage in developing different solutions in the area of artificial intelligence and robotics, and also complementary solutions, so that we can help support, give ideas, and leading students and making group teams and making links with different stakeholders, so that our students can come up with an impactful solution. This is the intention, or this is the goal of the artificial intelligence and robotics. Thank you so much, and I hope you can have a good session, and that you can learn much from these sessions, which is very important. I hope students can be motivated. Students can be get ready from this learning a lot and get ready for the next solution challenges. Once again, winners last year or previous year's winners, thank you so much for coming here to motivate our students. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tulut Alam. We very much appreciate your message and also sharing us your vision about our university and what we hope to achieve in the next coming few years. I hope it will be true. Again, thank you so much for thanking the previous year winners of the Solution Challenge on our behalf. The ASU AI and Robotics Center of Excellence have been helping the ASU DSC team immensely by providing areas to common working spaces and other resources, of course. So we would love to, again, thank you so much for being here, taking your time, Dr. Tulus Amal. And without wasting another time, next up we have Mugisha Samuel, who was a previous winner on the 2019 Solution Challenge. And I'd like to invite him to share his experience about his from his participation in the previous year and what it was like in general for him. So, Mr. Mugisha Samuel, please take the stage. You can unmute yourself and you can introduce yourself, and then you can take it over. Mr. Mugisha Samuel.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm called Samuel Mugisha from, and can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you. Go on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you,
Right.
Mr.
I'm
Mugisha.
Samuel
Go on.
Mugisha. I'm from Uganda, just within Kampala. Mugisha Samuel and hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Go on.
Oh, all right. I'm Samuel Mugisha, and I'm from Kampala, Uganda. I work for BRAC, and I have a startup that I do run. I stand here to be a winner of the Solution Challenge 2019, and since I have limited time, I'll go straight to my journey of the Solution Challenge. Being a DSC lead in university, that was my university, we participated in the Solution Challenge, and we were the first slot to participate in the Solution Challenge. So we got to know about this project through social media, things that we were doing, the events, the sessions, the project showcase. So we tried to post them online on Facebook and the rest. So this is where clients came in from World Health Organization, came out and reached to the university, and was inquiring about this club that was trying to solve solutions around the university. So yeah, that's where we got in contact with the client, and we developed something from the problems that he tried to disclose to us, and it was an health project. We named it an immunization calculator. This project, the project tried to solve problems, and majorly the immunization. As you know, immunization is taken by a child, at, especially these babies when they are still below 5 years. So the issue was the traditional way of keeping records. So some vaccines have policies. For example, a vaccine is supposed to be administered to a child after a certain period of time. So we have immunization cards issued by the government, and these cards are always, since they are papers, sometimes they get lost, and at the end of the day, a child is is given a vaccine that is not supposed to take, and violation of those vaccines and something like that. So we sat down as a team. I got around a team of 5 people. We brainstormed and how we can do this, and then we came up with an idea of designing that immunization calculator mobile app. So we became 3. We zeroed down to 3 people. We tried to implement the solution, and 1 to 3 few weeks, 3, 4 to 5 weeks, the application was fine and good. So the client was happy with the solution. We looked at the solution, and then it started working. And then the colleagues also started using the solution. So we became happy, and we were very happy. Of course, the solution challenge applications were open. We applied, and guess what? Our solution challenge, our solution won the challenge. So a lot of things now came in, a lot of opportunities opened up for us in that scenario. So right now, I registered a company, and the immunization project, it's now called the Immunization Guide. It's one of the startups now that we are trying to push up to make it, to scale it a bit larger and wider, because the other one was on a smaller scale, so we want it to be big and So what I can advise and what I can say, that is my small journey about that. But what I can say, what I can tell to the students that do want to apply this year is, don't be afraid. Just take your solution. Credit your solution. Credit your solution. If it's solving a problem, and you think it's really a problem that is affecting your community, kindly don't hesitate. Don't look upon other people's solutions and say, mine might not work out. If at all your project suits the standards, I got across on a Twitter that this time it should the project or the solution should be shooting the Sustainable Development Goals, something by UN. Yeah, if it's so, and if it's in line, don't be afraid. Kindly try out your opportunity. So with this, if you participating in this challenge, first of all, you learn a lot of things. Leave alone, winning. But you get to know that this is a competition, and you learn a lot of things from a competition. No, you can lose. No, you can win. So when you lose, what are you gaining from that? What are the skills have you gained? I always when I join competitions, when I lose, I sometimes become happy because I learned that I was supposed to do this. So kindly also scale on other people that have won and see. So that will always push you ahead. So kindly don't fear to participate in this challenge. And another thing I can say is look around yourself. Don't go far. Look around yourself. What's hurting you? What's hurting your parents? What's hurting your school?
what's the problem around your school? What's the challenge? What's not right? What can what can you do as a shortcut? That is the right thing that you should focus on, because with that you will do with passion. And then lastly, when you are in this challenge, code or implement. Don't even sleep, because your major aim is to win. Winning should be on your fingertips. What can I do to win? If this technology, kindly take like sleepless nights and learn the technology. And if you think that this technology can take me somewhere to implement this solution, kindly do, so that you win. Because when you win, a lot of things, a lot of opportunities are going to open for you. When you go apply for a job, say out your name. If your name is being searched upon and you want some solution challenge somewhere, you'll always be you'll always be passing. And that's how I've been succeeding. And I'm right now working as an IT consultant in an international organization called BRAC for ladies. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. So just because of my profile, just because of my profile and my journey and everything, so do it as if it's you are achieving a bachelor's or or an award from a university. And what you have to know is you can make it, whether you're from Uganda, whether you're from Pretoria, or whether South Africa, anywhere. No one should threaten you. And I would urge Africans, kindly participate, so that we always retain the pride, because at least Africans, we know that we are creative, and that's in our blood. Kindly. That's all. Thank you so much. I wish you well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mugisha. That was very inspirational. So I hope you got your answer. So he said, have the grit to work very hard. Take your time when you're working on it. Spend as much as possible, all the time as possible, to keep to have a minimum viable product to showcase and for the competition, so that you could win. Another great message that I liked was, it doesn't matter even if you win or lose. It's also an experience, and you learn a lot from the competition. Even though you don't get the prize, the learning experience by itself is a huge deal. And when you're working on the project, even though there are possibilities that you might not win, you should always work on it as if it was a life and death situation, and it was your last project. Thank you very much for that advice, Mr. Mugisha. Next up, we have another participant in the solution challenge who was a winner of the 2020 competition, Elvis Sarfo Antwi. I'd like to invite you. A few of the questions that I'd like to ask you will be, to speed up the questions, so that we won't take anyone's too much time of anyone. So in about 5 to 6 minutes, what was the problem that you worked on? What was the solution? Which tech stack did you use? How was your team formation? How did you manage your project? And also, if you have any advice in managing that project or in building your platform, what would be the top 3 advice that you would give for this year competitors for our DSC?
Okay. First of all, thank you for inviting me to share what I have. Our project is an emergency response system. That is the name, and it is solving the problem of emergency units in Ghana here. So the project was born after a snake bite. One of my friends was bitten by a snake, and it took us a lot of time to get to the hospital. And between the times that the snake bit him and then the time that we reached the hospital, nothing was done, absolutely nothing. And we all know what could have happened. So the whole idea was born or given birth in the hospital. At the hospital, I and my friends planned on it, and then we realized that this can be a solution. But what really shocked us was after we communicated or shared a survey in our campus and then visited the markets to listen to what other people will say about this problem. They were complaining and all that, and we saw that this is a problem that we should solve. One thing that I will say first is that every project that we start has to start with a passion. We have to start with a passion. That is the first thing we should note. Because without the passion, we will be competing ourselves. But the solution challenge, the whole idea behind the solution challenge, to me, is not just to win or to get opportunities for a job or anything, but it is an opportunity for us, we students, to exhibit our talent, to showcase our talents, to solve problems in our community. And that, I think, is going to help us, especially in Africa here. We are unfortunate that there's a lot of problems and we have to solve them. And so, as I was saying, with our projects, we develop upon the idea, find out that we can use a mobile app, which is a technology everybody is using to solve or limit the consequences we are having in our emergency system. Hence, we develop a two-way application system that will help individuals or victims to submit or report emergency cases for health institutions to respond as immediately. And that's after testing it on grounds, we saw that it is going to reduce a lot of death and a lot of problems that we have been facing in our emergency system. And with my team, forming the team wasn't a problem because the incident happened around the team. It happened around everyone. So we were all passionate to join. And even there was a fight after we read the terms and conditions, and we saw that we should limit the team to only 4. A lot of people were struggling to join, but we went into a consensus, and then we chose 4 main or 4 core team members, and then that was it. So we submitted our solution, and then we won. And the most important thing, or the most important part after winning, is how we developed our project into another level. And now we have started a startup, and then we are planning and communicating with the stakeholders here to start using the app or start using our system in the emergency unit. And it is fortunate for us that they are really, really interested and really keen about it. And then they are helping us a lot to solve it. I'll go through some of the questions in the chats. And one was asking what makes us different from other competitors. As I said, is the passion. Me, for instance, whenever I'm competing for any competition, I don't just look at the prizes. I just look at the benefits that is going to my project is going to make, the impact my project is going to have on my community, and that will build your passion. You have to get the passion, and with the passion you get there. Even if you don't win the challenge, your passion will lead you to higher heights where you didn't even expect it. And now we are very fortunate that UN is sponsoring this program, and I'm sure that they are going to support other people who wouldn't even make it to the first 10 or first 3. And I think that will come in when they see that your passion behind the project is very strong. And another question that I'll answer here is that with Africans, we face a lot of challenges. For example, with the team management, project management, sometimes the tech stack, we don't know anything about the tech stack and all that. One thing I would advise is that it is a solution that is organized, or a competition that is organized by Google, and you must use Google technologies, at least one. You must use Google technologies. And we are very fortunate that Google has almost everything, almost the resources that we have. The technologies are there with machine learning, TensorFlow, Flutter for mobile development, and even web development, Firebase for back end, and everything is there. So we just have to choose any of these Google technologies for our solutions. And I think these Google technologies plus our passion is going to lead us to the top. And I believe that there will be more winners, or even the top three will be from Africa if we do what we are saying. And I think that is all I can say for now. I believe that Africa will always be on top, as we have been always. And one thing is that someone said it, we shouldn't look so far. You see, it is a competition, so some of us are deceived by the term competition. Don't look so far. Just look around you, look around your community. And I bet you there's a lot of problems. One speaker said, we are very fortunate in Africa here because we have a lot of problems. And with this, we can just, all what we have to do is identify the problem around us, and then we solve it. And I think by the end, I believe we are going to win and be victorious as always. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Elvis. That was very enlightening. Especially, I like your perspective, the one that you said at the end. We're very lucky because we have a lot of problems. So it's a good way to look at things. You have more things to look into, more solutions to provide for your community. And I don't know if you're everybody else. I don't know if you're following, but so we have Elvis from Ghana and Mr. Mugisha from Uganda, and there's a certain trend. They both have passion for what they're working on, and what I'm really looking at is like even after they finished the competition, they came on top. They didn't stop there. They continued to work on it, and then they've grown up. They've grown it up to become a startup, and they're looking at it to even scale. And I think that's very wonderful. That's something to put attention into when we're starting our project, and especially to have passion on whatever we're working on. Thank you very much for that brief description and answer, Mr. Elvis. Thank you. So next up, we'll be having Marvelous Humphrey. So another Solution Challenge winner from 2020. We'll have about 5 to 8 more minutes to describe something very similar to what Elvis did. What the problem was, the tech stack, if they remember, if you can remember your team, and any advice you might have for this year competitors from ASTU DSC and Hilco DSC as well. Humphrey, Mr. Marvelous Humphrey, if you're here, please take it away.
Oh yeah. Thank you so much for that. Sorry, I joined the meeting pretty much late. I'm so glad to be with you guys. Sorry, it has been a very tough day for me. In the past few days, I wasn't feeling well as well. But today I'm quite good. Then after this, I'll actually rush to the hospital. But I couldn't miss, being with you guys and being able to speak with you, and let me just turn on the camera so that we can at least try and see each other. I don't know if you guys can see now.
Awesome. Yeah, we can see you. That's great.
Awesome. Cool. So can you just repeat for me the questions and what exactly you want me to go through?
Yeah, sure. So I'd like to talk about what the problem was that you worked on for your solution challenge. The problem, then the solution you came up with in terms of tech stack or your model, how you solved the problem, and then how your team was compromised, or how you formed your team, how you managed the project, and also any advice you might have as we go on for this year participants, and what they should follow in terms of principles, or any idea that in general that you might have for them would be great.
Okay, that's so awesome. Thank you so much for that. So actually we are, we were a team of 3, and we were all, students at McNair State University. Now it's only one of us who is still at the school. I actually dropped out myself I'm now focusing on something else and also focusing on the company full time, as well as with my other teammate. However, the solution that we worked on is called Capstone, which is generally a plagiarism detection system. And the thing that really motivated us to work on this was that we realized, we were at our university, everything was going on well. We were actually studying computer science, and there was a time, hey, when our university couldn't subscribe to Turnitin, so they use Turnitin for their plagiarism detection, so that they can validate all the students' work and all that. And this particular year, it was actually so tough, especially even economically, and we realized that even the university couldn't actually pay and subscribe because they needed foreign currency, and much of the currency that was being used is actually local currency. So what then happened was that we then thought of a solution. How best can we work towards this? How best can we avoid such a situation from happening again, to avoid plagiarism and try and escalate the quality of our work as a university? And Victor, who is my teammate, and Zandile, we actually came up together, and we thought, okay, why not just create our own? But the thing is this, we didn't know exactly how to go about it because we were just juniors. And I can tell you, I'm not the best software engineer that's there, or programmer, rather. I'm just like everyone else. So it's something that is then something that we then realized when we got into DSC. We realized that there was something called DSC, and we're like, okay, why not just join DSC and see how it goes? And when we joined DSCs, through all the workshops that we had, and all the stuff that we did, the code labs and all that, we slowly but surely worked on our solution. And it actually surprised us, that we were now working on more advanced stuff and more advanced stuff and more advanced stuff. And it was quite hilarious, when you're just seeing that I'm totally, not so sure of what I'm doing, but it's actually working, just according to the things that we have. So I'm actually getting in the car. We have to drive to the hospital just now. So what then we did was that we worked on it. We tried our best, and through the help that we got from all the mentors we had for Solution Challenge, we managed to actually build a working solution for plagiarism. And we had our university as well being very much interested in that, and they wanted to test it as well. And we had to go through multiple testing phases, and trust me, those are very important, because when you test your solution with real life people in a scenario, and for us, we're so lucky because we were actually testing it with our university, and we grew up together. They then gave us more suggestions and more inputs, and our solution became really, really good, and it was suited for them. They did not need to subscribe for Turnitin, because they need whatever they needed was now on our system. And that actually served the university very, very well. And that was just testing itself. And they then by themselves, they started talking about even advancing the solution. They wanted to even subscribe to it. And through Solution Challenge, that then motivated us to even do more. And it was quite a surprise for us to win the Solution Challenge, because we didn't expect that. And now we are so confident that our solution is well fitted for the local universities, and is also in local currency. And our vision now is to go through sub-Saharan Africa bit by bit, and try and tailor the solution to them, so that they don't have to subscribe for foreign stuff, which is not really tailored to their staff. So that's just something that we're working on, and now we're still working on it. And we are fully registered now through the mentoring sessions that we got from Google. We are now registered, and we are trying our best to keep on going. I don't know if there's any questions or if there's anything that I missed out.
That's very great, very brief description. If there is any other question, I will make sure to get back to you. Thank you very much, Marvelous, for being here with us. Even when you're sick and you have to be to the hospital, we all hope you hope you get better pretty soon. Thank you so much for that. Another thing that I would like
No,
to. Uh, all right, thank you. Another thing that I would like to highlight is how personal these problems were to the developers. So the first one was about children vaccination, and there was a huge problem going around because most of it was being done through cards. And then we have the solution where a friend of theirs were bitten by a snake and they couldn't get emergency access, so they went ahead and collected surveys and feedback from other people, and they understood that this was a problem very common, and then they decided to build a solution for that. And then here we have Marvelous and his team building a plug-guards detector for their school because it was very rampant, and the solutions that were out there where they have to subscribe from foreign software providers were not meeting the requirements for their compass. Very great to hear, very inspirational. Thank you so much. Again, hope you get better pretty soon. I don't want to take too much time again. Next, we have Okelo Fakedu from UN, who will be talking about the SDGs, or the development goals that the UN has put for the year. I don't want to mess it up, so I'll just like to give the stage, and I'd like to learn about it together with you guys. So, Okelo, please unmute yourself, introduce us, and then yeah, you can go ahead.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I believe you can hear me. Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. So I'm here to give you some insights on SDGs. Actually, I'm from UNDP. And specifically working for UNDP's Accelerator Lab. UNDP's Accelerator Lab is UNDP's global learning network. Actually, it's like the main objective of this global learning network is to accelerate UNDP's progress. Actually, not only UNDP's progress, but also other actors and governments' actions or progress towards achievement of these sustainable development goals. So I would like to display this SDG box on my screen. I have some issues with my, I don't know. Okay, let me share my screen. I believe you can see my screen now.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yeah. So as you can see from your screen, so we have like this 17 SDG goals. You know, it's like under this 8 goals, like we have a lot of sub goals, and the range and the scope is so diverse, it's so big, and this itself, can give you guys a chance, to look at things, like in a wide kind of view. So it's like everything you can do or you are planning to do can contribute to one of these SDGs. So sometimes, maybe a quick advice. I don't want you guys, to kind of tighten yourself towards, these SDG things. Rather, I advise you to do whatever you want, whatever you think can solve a problem. Then, then refer to these SDGs. Then believe me, as I've already said earlier, you can get some 3, 4, 5, 6, even more SDG goals that your work can contribute. So they contribute for. It's like, you know, the problems and the challenges are so complex and so huge, and specifically when we come to Ethiopia, especially when we talk about, you know, A and SDGs, it's like I feel like personally we didn't do much. So it's like we have a lot to do around, you know, it's like, you know, it's like the opportunity is so huge. The opportunity is so huge. Let's take one example. For example, SDG 6, clean water and sanitation. You know, as you may know, it's like Ethiopia, you know, it's like we have like about 27 million people defecating openly. So the open defecation is like, for example, one of Ethiopia's like biggest problem. And, you know, sometimes we're thinking of some very fancy blah things, but we don't have toilet, you know. So it's like, you know, it's like the demand and everything is like, you know, very, very huge. Peace and justice, for example, in Ethiopia, you know, government's talking a lot about, you know, Melkam Astedadar Chigir, blah blah things. You know, sometimes, for example, UNDP in Ethiopia had some, for example, digitization efforts, you know, using some of, you know, government's functions can help, you know, to avoid all those Melkam Astedadar Chiggers, you know. It's like, you know, making things like very, very, you know, transparency, and, you know, it's like for example, digitizing stuffs, digitizing business process, you know, it's like the opportunity is so huge, you know. So this, I believe this cover like everything everyone can do. So so sometimes so don't worry, do whatever you want. Believe me, then your work can contribute to one of these SDG things. So Ethiopia, it's like, you know, it's like SDG is like a global goal, but Ethiopia is also part of that goal, and Ethiopian government is highly committed to this SDG goals. So and Ethiopia, not only Ethiopia's government and all UN agencies are like very supportive to works, technology works, which can contribute to this SDG efforts. So even we can think of beyond this specific Google business. Let's say you or one of your fellows won this Google challenge. Then there is also, you know, an opportunity to scale up and do whatever you want locally with other, you know, UN agencies once you test whatever you prototype your work. So the opportunity is so huge, and when specifically it comes to tech, you know, the demand is so huge, but while we don't have so many actors in that ecosystem or working space. I took this from The Economist as some example of this is not for Africa. It's an example of some Asian countries. It's like they've tried to look at some problems and then opportunities, talking of technologies or innovation. For example, SDG 1 is about you know, poverty. So, you know, the problem is, you know, employment, tax, blah blah things. For example, the solution could be like more efficient welfare through digital ID, artificial intelligence, and big data enabled fintech. You know, for example, fintech itself is like a very kind of new concept for our country, Ethiopia. So, you know, before, you know, government was not that open for this, not only for the digital business, but for the, it's like the financial sector was so closed for, you know, other actors, as you already know. But with its new economic reform, Ethiopia started being open for kind of new innovative ideas, digital solutions, even in the financial sector, and many other examples. So, as I've already said, look, there is a lot, you know, there's a lot to explore, there's a lot to work on, and maybe one other piece of advice for you guys is also really important to understand, you know, the problem. So sometimes, you can come up with a solution, but you don't know very well kind of your beneficiary, target, client, whoever can benefit from your work. So understanding the problem is equally important with developing the solution. So if we come up with a solution which can actually address the real problem on ground, believe me, then you can sell whatever product or service easily. So I advise you to deep on the problem, to deeply understand your customers' clients, and even I advise you to use sometimes design thinking tools like human-centered design, to so that you can address the problems, learn more about your clients, your customers, people who you're planning to help. Yeah, then that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okilo. I hope everybody learned something about sustainable development goals and what you can do with them. What I learned was pretty much anything that you would develop could be classified into one of the subcategories mentioned out. So you don't have to fear that your project title might not fit this goals that we are aiming to include. Just work on a problem that you think would benefit the society, or which might address your problem you're thinking for your solution, and then you'll most likely, most probably, if not completely, be able to classify your project into one of these sustainable development goals. Thank you again, Mr. Okelo. And we have one more guest, Jamshid Bek, will be giving us more information about the SDGs. For another 5 more minutes, anything that Mr. Okelo probably did not mention, you can go ahead and tell us a bit more about that.
Thank you very much. Could you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go on.
All right. Good part of the day, dear fellows. My name is Jamshid Melekuziev, hailing from Vienna, Austria. Today, I'd like to make a short informative speech on SDGs and a couple of UN IT projects. So what are the SDGs itself? So in 2015, world leaders from 193 countries agreed the Sustainable Development Goals, or shortly known as SDGs, the world's new action plan for the next 15 years, to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger, fight inequality, tackle climate change, and achieve sustainable development for all the SDGs. So SDG 2030 didn't come as the first ever action plan, but it had been established on the examples of success and failure of the Millennium Development Goals, or MDGs, agreed in 2000 in a global coordinated attempt to tackle development issues. So the MDGs measured success on national averages, often missing what happened with marginalized groups like people with disabilities, indigenous groups, rural communities, and women. The international community recognized the new challenges and what human prosperity must go hand in hand with protecting the planet. After a 3-year participatory process, world leaders finally adopted 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So what are these goals in particular? They are to fight poverty, freedom from hunger, health and well-being, quality of education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, sustainable energy for all, decent work and economic development, innovation and resilient infrastructure, but above all, global partnerships that underlines principles that come with SDGs, so it stands above all. Sustainable Development Goals are meant to be achieved through numerous projects run by both local and international organizations. One of the best examples is 2020 Innovation for the SDGs competition, run and promoted by the Technology Facilitation Mechanism under the support of the United Nations. Hailing from a wide range of regions and backgrounds, participants are tackling development challenges in rural and urban communities around the world, often addressing multiple SDGs with their innovations. And many are particularly relevant in the midst of the current COVID-19 crisis, from spreading remote learning and sustainable energy in rural communities to building up water and sanitation services, to increasing the capacity of young people to gain decent employment in green, tech-based industries. So these young entrepreneurs are working as a force for progress and transformation. Another project run by Technology Facilitation Mechanism is UN Call for Technology Solutions for Addressing the COVID-19 Pandemic. So this call looks for proven, affordable, and scalable technology solutions that can accelerate progress towards providing basic health functions, especially for vulnerable people. To conclude, I'd like to say that every single individual, me or any one of you, have enough capacity of knowledge or skills to contribute to the achievement of SDGs. Talking from my own experience and contribution, I'd like to highlight the projects I've run with my team. Throughout the last 4 years, we've been promoting accessible education for all at all ages through organizing different conferences, summits, and other events, among which were the IT specialist projects as well. We could have gathered over 10,000 youth from over 30 countries throughout the last 4 years and brought them together to find solutions to the most urgent global issues. And not only, as a number of long-term proposals and solutions to develop sustainably have found their starting route at our projects. In the last quarter of 2020, I founded International Youth Empowerment Project, which promotes sustainable development goals among younger generation through interactive conferences and summits. Meanwhile, the next weekend we've planned to hold Model United Nations, where multi-hundred youth from over 45 countries will be encouraged to get in shoes of real diplomats and learn operational mechanisms of the United Nations. And my final words would be, do not hesitate to have a say, as you can be the person to change the world to a better site to live in. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jamshedbek. It was very moving. Thank you so much for explaining about the history and development of the Sustainable Development Goals. We wish you well with your project. It looks like you're having a big impact already. We hope you achieve what you're going for. Thank you so much. We're very delighted to have you here. Next up, because our time is running out, Bisrat from DSC ASTU will be telling us a little bit more about the solution challenge. We'll have about 8 more minutes, and then we'll follow that with a question. It was a Q&A session, and then Bamirat will be closing up the program. Thank you very much for having me. I'd like to hand the stage to Bisrat, and yeah, that's what me. Thank you very much. Bisrat, go on.
All right, Eddie. Yeah, okay. Thank you. My name is Bisrat, and I'm a DSC ASTU core team member. So I'm going to have a presentation on Solution Challenge 2021. So let me share my screen once. Or Bernard, can you share my screen? I mean, the slides?
Sure, sure. Okay, you can do the introduction until I share the screen.
Okay, okay, all right. So I'll be telling you about more on the information about the Solution Challenge 2021. So I'll be heading with 2 parts. The first part describing about the general overview of the Solution Challenge, and the second part about the Solution Challenge 2021. And we'll be having a question and answer at the end of the presentation. So, Solution Challenge. So what is Solution Challenge? So a Solution Challenge is basically this annual contest presented by the Developer Student Club, the DCC, that invites students to develop solutions for local community problems using one or more Google products or platforms said by the participants in the previous years. And it's a global event powered by Google, and it started in 2019. So this means it's going to be taking place for the 3rd time. So let's just go ahead and look at the brief overview of the Solution Challenge. So a DayC or the Developer Student Clubs from all around the world took part in this challenge with the goal to identify a problem, either simply come up with a solution. Then the solution that they developed in the video, I'll be talking about that in the later presentation session, called the entry, will be evaluated by the judge, and from there the judge will choose the winners in accordance with the official rules, and the prizes will be awarded to the participants with the highest score from the judging criteria. So as I told you, when the solution challenge started in the year 2019, there were 170 demos submitted from 90 universities, and later on 2020 there were about 200 plus demos from 100 plus universities. And as you can see, the success of this challenge has shown an increase in the participants in the last 2 years, and the program has nurtured students to solve their local community problems, to look at these chapters, and has shown a significant fruitful results.
I have shared the slides. Sorry.
Okay. Next slide, please. Go ahead, next slide. Next slide. No, one more. So what do you get? Back one slide. Go back one slide. So yeah, all right. So what do you get when you register? So here are some points that will be helping you when you register. And the first one is you'll get an invitation to our online community where 80 plus mentors and Google developer experts called the Sdgs are available to help and guide you along your journey. And the other thing is additional technical and design resources will be provided when you register, and you get a support from your DC community when you got registered, and a chance to win a year subscription to Pluralsight, and there will be a Chromebook and a coffee shop with a Google executive. You'll get all of these things. And there will be 10 winning teams globally. So now you know that you're part of a global community. And by the way, you can register at the provided links here in the Google community DSC Solution Challenge here for the Solution Challenge. And you could be a member of our chapter at the dc.community.dev. You just have to sign up there to become a member of our DC chapter. So next slide. So let's see now the steps to follow briefly in the Solution Challenge 2020. In the Solution Challenge generally. So there will be basically 4 steps you have to follow. The first one is you have to identify a problem from your community, and you just have to brainstorm a solution for your problems. We have selected in your problem area, problem space. Then you have to design a solution, and lastly, you just have to build a solution using at least one Google product. So next slide. Using one or more Google products or platforms, as you can see, there are a bunch of Google products and platforms listed here, and could be more also. So you just have to select at least one from here. So you could have a Google Cloud that utilizes the GCP or the Google Cloud Platform to provide scalability serverless functions, or you could use Kubernetes, data engineering, Android, Flutter, actions on Google like the Google Assistant, and more products from there, in TensorFlow for machine learning, in progressive web apps, in Firebase, AR Core for augmented reality, and other Google technologies. So you could select one of them, and you could build your project, at least incorporating one of the Google products or platforms. here. So what is the social impact the solution challenge have uh, has in the community, in our community, or in the participants of the social challenge program? So we could generally see it in three things. The first one is you could connect, meaning you could meet students on campus interested in developer technologies, and you could also have the experience to have a connection with multiple students with diverse background in diverse majors, so it will helping you to widen your communication. And the second is you learn a lot. And by this I mean that you learn about a wide range of technical topics where new skills are gained through, and you could also participate in workshops, in-person trainings, and you could also project building. You could also attain project building activities, which will help you in scaling up your knowledge, upgrading your knowledge. So this is one of the social impacts the Google Solution Challenge program has. And the third one is you grow. So you have the connections and you learn a lot, and it will contribute to your growth. You apply your new learnings and connections to build a great solution for your local problems. You will advance your skills, career, and network, and it gives you back your community by helping others learn as well. So these are the social impacts in general that you see, the Google Solution Challenge have. So let's see, as a student in as a community, what is the social impact of the social challenge? Next slide. Next slide. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So one slide back, please. One, please. Yeah. So as a student in community, you'll get these values. You'll grow your skills, your think, your open projects, and you'll get the opportunity to scale it up. And you build prototypes and solutions for your local problems. And you participate in global developer competitions and receive access to select Google events and conferences. And you gain valuable experiences. So addressing, so you'll be having the chance to address solutions to social, economic, and political community problems. And if you want to see more stories, interesting stories, you could go to the developers.googleblog.com and see more interesting blogs and stories so that you can help you to brainstorm. Next slide. So let's come to the Solution Challenge 2021. So in the Solution Challenge 2021, what we get is, as you can see, next slide please, on the screen, you'll be part of the global community, and over 190 plus countries are expected to take part in the year, in this year's Solution Challenge. And by the way, there are around 1,250 plus DC chapters around the globe, and over 190 plus countries are expected to take part in this year's Solution Challenge. Next slide. Next slide. So let's see the timeline of Solution Challenge 2021. So briefly talking about the timeline, there will be 3 steps. Step 1 is you register. Step 2 is learn build. Step 3 is demo. And submit the open from one to 31 first. So let's see in detail the timeline. So getting started. Next slide. So in step 1, what you have to do is you just have to join a Google DC in order to take part in the Solution Challenge. So you just have to join virtually at your college if a DC exists, and if not, you just have to join the closest one to the event platform. So I just mentioned if you want to be part of our community, you just have to register at dc.community.dev, and you just have to go to the DC Astu part and be an optional member. Then you just have to register for the solution challenge. So this is the first step. And in the second step, you just have to form a team. So you just have to have 4 teammates with at least 1 student from the University of Addis Ababa Science and Technology University from here, and ideally with a various set of technical and soft skills, you just have to comprise it and have a conversation earlier about code lists. You just have to share interesting. So that means you just have to select titles here and form a team. So in third step, you just have to select United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. You just have to select 1 or more UN SDGs, and you just have to propose a solution for that using technology. And in the fourth step, you just have to identify a solution. It is basically called the design spree, and it's a flexible framework for solving problems. You could also Google it. That will help you very much. So the design spree is a flexible framework for solving problems through designing, prototyping, and testing ideas with users, and it allows you and your team to validate ideas before going through the energy of building a project. So a very quite helpful framework. Just have to use. Next slide. Then in the second phase, just learn and build. And in this phase, we get 2 steps, step 5 and step 6. Step 5 is about the design of the front-end interface, where you just come up with the user interface and user experience concerns here, and start thinking about how your user will interact with your solution. And step 6 is about the back-end technology. Here, you just have to follow learning pathways and code labs on the resources page. I'll mention that later. And you just have to collect a Google Developer GitHub badge where we completed learning pathways. So here, using these resources, you can build the backend technology. And if you're stuck here, there will be a platform called Parentium Platform, where you could reach out to Google Developer experts and ask them regarding the technical questions you might have came across. So this is what you're going to do in the learn and build section. Next slide. So in the final phase, it's finalizing submission of your solution. So you test your solution. You just have to collect feedbacks by showcasing your works for student friends, in families, or your community. And then you just have to iterate your code using the feedback you have received. Then you record a demo video and submit by March 31st. So your demo should be maximum of 2 minutes long, and you'll be submitting using the form provided, which is to be opened on March 1st to March 31st. So in this duration, you just have to submit, finalizing your solution. So these are basically the steps. And next slide. Winners will be announced by on the duration May to August 2021, and on May, top 50 teams will be selected after the judge to review all the submissions. Then from May to June, the top 50 selected from on May will have a chance to receive deep monitoring over the course of 1 to 3 online meetings from Google and GDEs to improve their solution, and we submitted for the next top prize. Then on July, the top 10 finalists are announced, which means they'll get a 1-year subscription to Pluralsight, as well as additional customized mentoring from Google and the GDEs. And finally, on August, the top 3 winners are announced on live YouTube streaming. Top 10 finalists showcase their solution all around the world on YouTube during the 2021 Solution Challenge Demo Day In the final 3 winners are selected from the top 10 category along with the Chromebook. Then they are awarded a Chromebook in a private team meeting with the Google executive. So this is basically the timeline that the Solution Challenge 2021 has. So if we go to the mission, so the mission is to solve for one or more of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals using Google technology. Pretty clear. And the evaluation criteria, let's go to the evaluation criteria has 2 parts. The first is impact, and the second is technology. Impact will have 60 points, and technology will have 40 points. Next slide. And in the impact, the effectiveness evidence of next step tested on real users, iterated upon based on user feedback, Solution Challenge 2021, mission focus. All these points are going to be judged in the impact section, and the technicality, Google technology used, working solution, video demonstration, Google technology implementation, and effective product and technical decisions of the team for the solution is viewed on the technology evaluation criteria side. So 60 points and 40 points is going to be 100 points. And this is the evaluation criteria that will filter the top 50 teams after the May 31st mission. So let's go to the prizes. So the prizes, there will be top 50 teams after the evaluation criteria. The first evaluation criteria is done by the judge. So the top 50 teams will receive a mentorship from Google and other experts to improve and submit a solution for the top prize. Then after that, the top 10 finalists will win a 1-year subscription from and additional customization from Google, and featuring the Google Developers blog and demo day live on the YouTube. And finally, the top 3 winners will win all of the prizes included in the top 10 category, along with the Chromebook and the coffee talk with the Google executive. So these are the prizes for the 2021 challenge. And so what's next? So the next slide. The next thing you have to do is you just have to check out the previously mentioned contest site and resources section, and don't forget to share what you're up to using hash developer students labs and hash DCS2, and tag at Google Days Google students in this at DCS2 on social medias, and you just have to join our social medias, of course, to stay updated about the following events and workshops. So this is the next steps you have to do. Next slide. So as a resource, as I mentioned, you just have to check out more resources. You just have to, there will be a learning pathway. Select what the technology you want to use in your project. So you just have to go to here, the developers.google.com/community/DSC solution challenge resources. You'll get different resources from here for free. So use it and build your project. And that's all about the Solution Challenge 2021 position. So let's just go to the Q&A section. So if you have questions, raise it. And the CR2 team and Justice will be trying to answer your questions. Thank you, Gideon.
All right. Thank you, Busrat, for this informative presentation. So we'll move on to the Q&A session. So if anyone has any questions, please raise them out, and we'll answer them as we go. So you can type your questions if you have any. We'll just give you a few minutes. Perfect. Let me just share our chat group on Telegram so that you can reach us at any time you want with any questions. So we'll try to answer every question that you guys may have. So here I have shared the link with you guys. So go ahead and join our chats and ask any questions you may have, raise any ideas you may have. It's just there for you guys to communicate and share any ideas you may have. So let's just wrap up today's event. So as a closing point, I just want to say thank you everyone for showing up, and as for our speakers, thank you very much for your dedication. We know you are busy and everything, but you still showed up and you inspired us with your amazing speech. So thank you very much for being with us, and you helped us a lot. Moving forward, I hope you'll be available if we have anything we could ask from you guys. Thank you everyone for showing up. So before, as you know, as in Ethiopians, we couldn't participate on the solution challenge because we didn't have the ACC chapters here. But now that road is open, so please guys, go ahead, apply and participate. So this is your chance to show your work to the world. So we know we have, in us2, you have the potential to do amazing things. So this is a platform for you. So just use it and show the world how amazing you are. So thank you everyone for being with us. And if you don't have anything to raise, we'll wrap up today's event with this. Okay, thank you everyone, and good night.